In return for your help, I offer something priceless.
My freedom.
Freedom can be taken away. As you well know, I offer knowledge. Everything I have learned. I will teach you economics, mathematics, philosophy, science.
To read and write?
Of course.
When do we start?
The main Jerusalem, yes, there were many Jerusalems. Now, the New Testament Jerusalem of Jesus Christ, the way it's described, actually matches the one Constantinople Jerusalem. Now, there is two Jerusalems mentioned in the Old Testament. There's two different descriptions. Professor Anatoly Fomenko goes through them. He's done videos of them to show their even dimensions, layouts. One of them matches Moscow, and then the Hagia Sophia matches the Temple of Solomon. Yes, and that's why he identifies Sultan Solomon with King Solomon of the Bible, and the fake Ottoman history.
The Garden of Eden, or Gardens of Eden, as it is said in the Quran, eternity, paradise, and heaven. So all of these, as you can see here, they are different Arabic words, and I will be going through them and much more. Therefore the Lord God banished Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden and placed a flaming sword to protect the tree of life. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 24. Now, as time goes on, a lot of the verses from the Bible become very questionable, if they weren't already. There still is truth in the Bible, but a lot of what is in there that is not in the Quran really does become questionable, because it seems like it completes a picture sometimes, and sometimes it's, like I said, it's very questionable. By the declining time, so this is that part of the day, where it's coming towards an end. Indeed, mankind is surely in loss, khusr, except those who believe and do righteous deeds and enjoin each other to the truth and enjoin each other to patience. And do not mix the truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth while you know. But they denied the truth when it came to them, so they are in a confused state. So the truth will set us free. We have to free our mind from what it is that we've been told is the truth that might not be the truth. So as you can see there, Uqbad Dar. So just a little side note on that. So if you notice the words Uqbad Dar, the final home, and the words Dar-us-Salam, you'll notice that word dar, dar, not the dar that you drink or eat, not that dar, dar. Okay, so the ones that I think will get, the ones that seem to get mixed up by those who don't know the Arabic might be, well, okay, you'll find like masjid, you'll find bait, you'll find dar, so Masjid al-Haram, that's the honored, the sacred masjid. So masjid is one type of place or house. Then you've got bait, which is house, but then you've got dar, which is home. For those who aren't familiar, dar. So Dar-us-Salam. So as it's got here. So notice the word dar, Uqbad Dar, the final home, Dar-us-Salam, home of peace. So the reason why I bring this up is because doesn't Dar-us-Salam look very similar to Jerusalem? And again, this is me coming up with this or pointing this out because of questioning a lot of our history and the things that we've been taught. It's just interesting to know how similar they are, and that it's very possible that the Arabic language has always been there from the very beginning, as is evident in a lot of silver coins found throughout the entire world. you'll find Arabic writing on them, you'll find Arabic writing on clothing. Now, I have to give credit to the person who I have been listening to recently, and I'm not saying he's right about everything, but you know, he's definitely bringing up a lot of good points. David Ewing Jr. So anyway, he points out about Jerusalem, and it's very compelling, and he brings a lot of evidence with it. He doesn't just talk out of thin air. Well, actually, when it comes to the Quranic Arabic, so that's what he needs help on, because that's not his forte. So he's going to make mistakes there, but with everything else, yes, the research looks pretty solid. Anyway, the point is Jerusalem, Dar-us-Salam, Jerusalem. Can you see the similarities? Yeah, they are the same basically, because what these people do, they hijack everything. Everything is hijacked and twisted. We know that this is what they do. So Jer is actually Dar, yeah, and Salam, peace. Salem, Shalom, whatever, you know, they changed this. Apparently, Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, they're all demonic languages that have been created from Arabic. So yeah, you can actually make languages from Arabic. You can spend a long time and make new languages, turning things opposite, you know, twisting things. And yes, so there's a lot of evidence to support that everything does come from the Arabic language, not basically the Quranic Arabic, or as close to the Quranic Arabic as possible. And yeah, just to give you some off the top of my head, Ard, yeah, earth. Ard, doesn't Ard sound like earth? Yeah, you can see how close they are. I'm sure there's better examples, but anyway, Jerusalem, Dar-us-Salam, Jerusalem. Oh yeah, and Eden, yeah, Eden, Adnin, Firdaus, we'll come to that, paradise, Faradis. You're going to see that all of these words really and truly do come from Arabic. So on the issue of Jerusalem, then that really does come into question. Does the Jerusalem they're teaching us, yeah, does that exist? Okay, this will be even more controversial actually, as I say this, if I put it this way. Does Jerusalem in the Quran exist? Again, it's just a question. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I can't find Jerusalem per se as it is in the Quran, but I can find Dar-us-Salam. So did they make up this place as Jerusalem?
An example of the images. Now, these images, you know, you'll find people made them in Germany. People were painting them inside churches on church walls. They're making them in Italy, France, Switzerland, Holland. They're making them everywhere. You know, Austria, many places. Now, the strangest thing is this. Now, this is what really got to me. Yes, in up to half of the famous paintings. Here's a painting I've just sent you now. This is by Jules van Cleef during the Renaissance. I think he's from Holland. Have you received that picture? I've sent you a big copy of you.
Oh,
you
yes,
received?
yes, got it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what you'll notice is that it's got, you know, castles from Istanbul, and it's got the waterway, you know, from the Bosphorus. There's the Bosphorus, there's two waterways at the Bosphorus. Can you see the picture? And can you see that
Yes.
castle? It's called the Roman Castle, or in modern Turkish, it's called Rumeli Castle. Can you see it?
Yeah. hmm
So the crucifixion, did it happen in the Middle East, or did it happen in Europe?
Right, rather doesn't look like the desert to me, or whatever in the Middle
It's
East
not
it
about
should
the
be.
desert. Can you not see? I've sent you
Yeah,
two
yeah.
pictures.
No,
Look.
no, I can
Yeah,
see. Yeah, yeah.
it's an identical match.
Yeah.
That
hmm
I've sent you
hmm
another poster showing it's on my Facebook showing he's from Antwerp, and because the thing is, many people, they went to their pilgrimages. Yes, when they came back from the pilgrimages, yeah, you know, probably 10 years later, Can you imagine these paintings? Some of them are 2 meters big or 3 meters wide or 4 meters wide. And it involves about 50 to 100 people to paint these pictures. Many people are involved. Yeah, there might be the main director and people assisting them. And the thing is, and these Renaissance painters were government agents. Yes. So now when they're doing it, yes, they want to advertise Jerusalem, and they're trying to make people hate the Muslims, and they were and things like that. So they want to make people hate the Muslims, and they're trying to show that Christianity is the truth, and these people are the enemies of Christ. They killed Christ. They were trying to blame the Muslims, even though the timeline doesn't match. Yeah. So now the strange thing is, these people are going to pilgrimages and they're coming back. People know where Jesus Christ was crucified. Yeah. What do you see there? The people in their memory, they're drawing pictures of Constantinople.
Yeah.
This is the strange thing. Let me send you, you can check half the paintings from the Renaissance. The main Jerusalem, yes, there were many Jerusalems. Now, the New Testament Jerusalem of Jesus Christ, the way it's described, actually matches the one Constantinople Jerusalem. Now, there is 2 Jerusalems mentioned in the Old Testament. There's 2 different descriptions. Professor Anatoly Fomenko goes through them. He's done videos of them to show their even dimensions, layouts. One of them matches Moscow, and then the Hagia Sophia matches the Temple of Solomon. Yes, and that's why he identifies Sultan Solomon with King Solomon of the Bible, and the fake Ottoman history. Yes, you're going to find that 80% of the Arabic coins have been found in Europe, not in the Middle East, not in India, not in Africa, not in Uzbekistan. And then when you find these coins, do you know what they tell you? They tell you that these coins came from Uzbekistan near Afghanistan. For example, I've just sent you the link that I've just sent you. It says 125 million dirhams, Arabic coins, were imported into Northern Europe just in the 10th century. Can you believe this? They're telling us that Europe basically imported all its currency. Some of it is basically Uzbekistan, Afghanistan. And they're telling us from Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, strange places, they're just telling us some ridiculous history. Arabic. Now, I'm sending you an investigative study from Oxford University. And people can check this investigative study. It's very suspicious. So now, historians have got no answer. That the biggest currency in Europe, all over, France, England, Poland, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Austria, Greece, Bulgaria, you're just going to find Arabic coins. And these are Viking barbarians with all this gold and silver. It's a scam. And then you'll find all these coins from the Middle Ages with the Star of David. I've just sent you the Star of David with Arabic on them. And you'll find these. Yeah, have a look at what these Arabic coins are. And we all know the fighting between Israel and the Palestinians and the Star of David.
Absolutely.
Well, here I've just sent you the Star of David. You'll find all these coins throughout the Middle Ages, and they've all got Arabic writing on. And they're supposed to be Jewish coins or Muslim coins. And it just doesn't make sense. There's no Hebrew on these coins. So and then one of the greatest masterpieces, so if the Jews were speaking Arabic, then this means King David, did he speak Latin or did he speak Hebrew? So now Arabic, the worst thing is, I thought I'll have a look at this. This is a statue of King David. It's one of the biggest masterpieces. It's in the Museum Nacional del what's it called? In Florencia in Italy. And I've sent you a statue. It's actually one of the greatest masterpieces in history. And do you know what the strangest thing is? This statue of King David, one of the greatest masterpieces in the world, has mysteriously got Arabic writing on it.
No.
And it's from the Middle Ages.
What the heck?
I've just sent it you. Yes, and these Stars of David from the Middle Ages, they've got Arabic writings on them.
Where's the Arabic writing on the David? I don't see the Arabic yet.
I've just sent it you. I've sent you the latest picture.
Oh my God, this is not on the shield plating, like the Vikings and stuff with the Arabic writing.
So now the thing is, now many people are not aware of it. Let's have a look at the Renaissance time. After they started expelling Jews and Arabs and Muslims, and they were killing them and burning them in inquisitions and blah blah blah. Yes, before that, we've got one of the greatest masterpieces of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance is the painting I've just sent you. And they say it's by Gentile de Fabriano. Yes, and he's from 1423. They will say he spoke Italian. We can't find these Italian languages. Yeah, it's just a fraud. Yes, and this picture is called The Adoration of the Magi, or The Birth of Jesus Christ. It's one of the greatest masterpieces in history. People can check it.
Wow.
And do you know what the worst thing is? Yeah, check some of these great masterpieces. Yeah, they've got Arabic written on it. So now we've got a problem. If it's got Arabic on it, yeah?
In the halo? Oh man.
Yes.
There's a halo with Arabic
now
on. Oh, and then is this Mary and Joseph with Arabic halos? Are they suggesting that they're Arabs? And there's dudes with turbans. There's turbans in this.
It's not about Arabs. It's like this. You can be Chinese but speak American. So now the thing is, Arabic was the global language. So now a serious question is, if the Jews are speaking Arabic, and if the Virgin Mary was a Jew, what language did she speak? She must have spoken what 90% of the Jews were speaking. It's the coronation clothes of the Holy Roman Emperor. The Holy Roman Empire only dissolved in the 18th century. But around the 14th, 15th century or 16th century, something happened to it. But have a look at it. We've got the coronation clothes of the Holy Roman Emperor, and he's got Arabic writing on there as well.
This is great.
The coins in Europe are Arabic as well. The books were in Arabic until the Vatican burned them. What the hell is going on?
But they couldn't get rid of the cool cape. He wanted to wear that, so he has Arabic on his cape still. He couldn't get rid of that. That's hilarious.
No, if you look at the gown of the Holy Roman Emperors, before the Habsburgs took over, the Arabic writing you'll notice on there is nothing like the Arabic today. Yeah, and that was art. Yes, so this was art, and then you'll notice here's a bishop, in the Qatar regions of France on something that survived. The Vatican didn't bother to burn these things because they thought many people wouldn't realize that this is Arabic. So now look at the Arabic style here. And what you will notice is that this Arabic is something else. Then we've got Kufic. And then the strange thing is the Masorets. Yeah, you've studied the Masorets, yes? In the books, yeah, where they added on to teach people how to pronounce Hebrew. Yes? I've just sent you one or two, but now it gets even worse. So
this is crazy. It's hand etched. This is hand etched in the metal.
Yeah. So now I've shown you Northern Europe. There's all these Arabic coins which we can't explain. They're telling us crazy stories, saying, "Oh, they were selling slaves. They were selling Germans. Oh, they were doing this. Oh, they were saying they were copying it. Oh, it was just a decoration." We're talking
no way. That picture right there looks like a soldier carved. There is no God but Allah into their own sword before they went into battle. That's what that looks like.
So now the worst thing. So now I've gone to, and Spain was officially Muslim, and it took longer to kill the Muslims or get rid of them there. That's why we still know about that history. Yeah. So now the thing is, let's talk about Eastern Europe. What about the Russians and the Slavs, Ukraine, etc.? We've been told that these Russians or Ruski, yes, that they were Christians too, followers of Jesus Christ. So now if Jesus Christ spoke Arabic and the Jews were speaking Arabic, then we're going to find lots of Arabic writing all over Russia. Now here is the helmets of an example. I'll send you one, but you can find many. An example of the helmets of the princes and the kings of Russia. What do you see there? This is of the Tsar, Ivan the Terrible, all these others, Alexander Nevsky, Alexei Roman. Do you see Arabic?
The cap of Erechon, the Arabic crown of Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich. There's no way that's not Arabic. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, now I'm sending you the most common currency in Russia until the 17th, 18th century. Yes, this was the common currency of Russia during the Middle Ages. Yes, it's just got Arabic on it, and it says La ilaha illallah.
But what's their excuse for this?
No God except
how do they dismiss this? If this is clearly what they're using, what's the deal?
Yes, it's because nobody's checking.
But why?
The worst thing in Europe and America, Andreas, you're doing all these shows. You're checking all these things online. People just check something, they're not going to open up the originals.
Wow.
Then the world is lazy, so it's their fault the world is a mess.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. The thing is, they've all got Arabic. Now, it's not just one or two crowns of the princes. Here's the helmet of Alexander Nevsky. Alexander Nevsky, he was very famous. He's still so famous throughout Eastern Europe today. This church called Alexander Nevsky, a beautiful one in Bulgaria. Have a look at his helmet. You can clearly see Arabic on them. So we got these problems, and nobody seems to be talking about it. Yeah, all these swords, and it's like when people walk into the Kremlin museums and all these things, They won't realize it. You've got to have a look very carefully. Like, for example, you'll see all these things and you'll think medieval knights in shining armor. What people don't notice is this. Now, up to about, if we look at medieval, medieval or Renaissance is the end of the medieval. Renaissance, crucifixion, paintings. Yeah, there's paintings inside churches, on their walls, and things like that throughout Europe, yes? Yeah? So now the thing is, you'll find hundreds of paintings throughout Europe, yes? Of the crucifixion. Yes, the crucifixion paintings.
Right, the three crucifixes in the lodge.
People could do a Google search. Have you received that Google search?
I just see the Shishita part still. I haven't got anything past that. Oh, wait,
No,
it's coming up
let's
now.
not get distracted to it.
It's coming up now. Yeah, so the thousands of pictures of the Muhammad
So now,
Allah
here
name.
is an example. Here is an example. This is an example of a Renaissance painting of the crucifixion by Antonello de Messina. Yes, and what do you see in the background? Look carefully at that picture. You will see the two waterways. The first waterway is the Golden Horn in Istanbul, with the walls near the Golden Horn, and beyond that is the Bosphorus.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and that's what you will see in half the paintings of these famous paintings, and they're not in one place because people went. Can you imagine right now? In America, many people, yes, they've been to New York. They've been from Los Angeles to New York, then they go back home, holiday. They've been from Seattle to New York, then they go back home. They've been from Dallas and Houston to New York, then they go back home. They've been from Florida, Miami, Tampa, and all these places to New York, then they go back home. They go from Chicago, then they go back home. Yes? So now, during the Middle Ages, everywhere in Europe, from France, from Germany, from Spain, from Italy, everywhere, people were going to Constantinople, Jerusalem. They were going there because they went there because they were waiting for Jesus Christ to come back. He's going to come to this city. Yes? And the crucifixion happened in Jerusalem. So now let's look at all these paintings and let's see what Jerusalem actually looks like. And what do we see? Now, here is
Bosphorus.
we could talk about Sharia law or Shahita law.
But yeah, this is big.
Yes, in Judaism. Or let's get to the exciting things. Yeah. Because you asked about Constantinople. I'm sending you many paintings so that you could go through them. Here is a painting by Gerard David, and this one's from Holland.
Wow.
In the around the 15th
That's
century.
definitely
And
if the Bosphorus is at Jerusalem, that's crazy. The Bosphorus in Jerusalem.
Do you know what you could see there? What you can see in that painting, you can actually see, yes, from the 14th, 15th, 16th century, you can actually see the Hagia Sophia, which is a bit darker in color, and you can see the Sultan Ahmed Mosque. I sent you a new picture. Have a look at the new one, the Sultan Ahmed, that looks white and brand new. Right. And you can actually see Galata Tower, and Galata Tower for the Galatians. Wow. Have you received the new picture?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just looking at the Galata Tower the other day because it has that rotary. It's amazing. That's exactly, and it's in the crucifixion picture. There's no question. That's it. Jerusalem and Turkey.
Yes. Yes. Let me send you many paintings. There's hundreds. There's so many that actually it's almost like you can't deny it. It's so worrying. It's like it's worrying. Now here is a picture from Belgium. Let's go from, I've shown you Italy, I've shown you Holland. Now, in case somebody says, hey, people made a mistake, they guessed. Yeah. Now, here is a picture from Belgium by Jules van Cleve. This is a 15th century Renaissance. And look carefully at this painting, and what do you see? You will see a waterway, you will see the defenses of the walls of Jerusalem.
The Moorish style,
And do you know, when you look at the walls of Jerusalem, let's compare it to modern Istanbul, and let's see, is there any historical artifacts there? And what do you see in the next picture?
Yep, there's the same Moorish style, the ascending wall, the same kind of octagonal castles.
It's basically exactly the same, because the wall today is damaged.
Right,
yes?
There you go.
Yes,
yeah, that's
so it's an exact match with the waterway, the waterway that's going through the Bosphorus, yes, and it's an exact match.
At the Rumeli Hisari.
And Jerusalem is not, yes, and Jerusalem is not beside the sea or the two waterways.
I could dismiss this if it weren't for the fact that if this was just people in Turkey drawing pictures of Jesus, and so they use their own surrounding, but this isn't that.
They're all over Europe.
These are people all over Europe. Places. This is everywhere. This is crazy.
Yes, so that's the problem. So now Professor Anatoly, yes, Anatoly Fomenko pointed this out. Yeah, now here is another painting I've just shown you, and you can have a look through this.
Oh
carefully.
man, yeah.
This is from the 15th century, and you can actually see the ships going
Right.
through in the Bosphorus. I've sent you an
Yeah.
enlargement. Yeah, this is by Andrea Solario, not Andreas, Andrea Solario, and they say it's about 1503, something around then. So
This is what I
there's just too
wanted.
many-
This is what I wanted to see. I was saying, hey, Turkey, there's this crossing. You found the Bosphorus behind Christ with actual ships going by it. David,
And
this
it's
is
not
the
just
must.
one waterway. The Bosphorus has two waterways, Golden Horn, and you
Right.
can actually find two. I've just sent you another painting, and this one is by Pietro Perugino. These are all in different places,
Jeez.
and you can actually see big ships.
Yeah,
sailing
these
through the
are ship
Bosphorus.
of the line style ships too, which tells you what time
Yes.
period they're saying. This is clearly
Yes,
around.
so,
yeah.
So as you can see, we've got a serious problem. Yes, we've
Yeah.
got a serious problem.
This is
now.
Jesus Christ
Yes.
in Turkey 1,000 years ago, not 2,000.
Yes, and now the thing is in Istanbul. Yes, all we can find in. I can send you hundreds of paintings. Let me just send you many so that you can upload them on the video.
So
And,
is this kind of like the Book of Mormon? Are they saying, hey, let's modernize it? Like he's with us now. How do we know this is? How come everyone's saying it though? I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot to digest.
But now we've got a problem. Yes, we found that the language and the coins and things like that
Oh my
are
God.
Arabic.
You
Even
just
in
sent me.
Istanbul.
You just sent me
And
like
then-
100
and then the
pictures
Jews-
of the turkey with Christ in front of it. This is crazy. I'm going. This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and you can just see the Bosphorus. It's totally insane.
What is happening?
Yes, I really don't know what to say. It's
You can
actually-
say it. Jesus is from Turkey. Jesus is from Istanbul. That's pretty clear. That's what we're looking at. Or at least
but
they
it doesn't
crucified
mean
him.
it was from there,
They
but,
crucified
it
him
means
there.
he
It
went
looks like.
there.
It looks like he's
Now
crucified
the
there.
thing
Yeah.
is, he went there, and now another strange thing is people don't check what the word Jerusalem means. Jerusalem in modern Hebrew, people how you want to pronounce it, because they created the pronunciation only recently is Jerusalem. In Arabic, is Dar-us-Salam. Now that's two words, Dar-us-Salam. So many people are saying Jerusalem is in Utah, Jerusalem is in Scotland, Jerusalem is in Germany, Jerusalem is in Barcelona, Jerusalem is in India. Now we've got a problem. All these people who are saying Jerusalem is in Scotland, Edinburgh, okay, let's see what they're going to say. The word Jerusalem is two words. It means the word Jer or Dar means city in Hebrew, Aramaic, or Arabic. Choose whichever one you want. Yeah, the first word means city, Dar, and the next word means peace.
Salam.
Us-salam. Not salam or shalom, us-salam.
Ah.
It's two words, Dar and us-salam. And now we have a religion today in the world that's mysteriously called us-salam or Islam. So was Islam created by the Prophet Muhammad, or was it created from before? Because this is what the Muslims say. They say the Prophet Muhammad was the final leader of Islam. Maybe in the Middle East they say Islam today, but in these dialects they said it was called Islam. So now people are saying Edinburgh was the city of Dar-us-Salam or Jerusalem. So they're saying it was the city of Usalam. If it was the city of Usalam, okay, now all you people who are saying these things, and then you found all these Arabic coins all over Europe, what do you have to say now? Yeah, these Muslims have been saying for centuries, have been saying, hey, Islam is older than the Prophet Muhammad, and it was the religion of Jesus Christ. And this is why many people said their city was called the city of Islam, because Islam or Islam was the system. Yes.
Islam. That's the new thing.
Yes.
It's the old thing.
Dar-us-Salam. Yes, Jerusalem. Jerusalem. It's yes. It means city of peace. So Islam means the religion of peace. Islam. So now we've got these problems, and we've got these problems. Jesus Christ. What language did he speak? All the Jewish people have been speaking Arabic for centuries. We can't even find a Hebrew language. Nobody even spoke it. Then they burnt all the Jewish people's Arabic books that Jesus Christ left behind. And then, hey, people are going on crusades. They're burning all these Gospels in Istanbul or in Constantinople. They're burning all these books over there. And Jesus Christ was crucified there. Or if Jesus Christ was crucified in Constantinople, it means the priests who killed him, because the history says that the people who were the priests, okay, they call them Pharisees, Sadducees, blah, blah, blah. They turn around and say that the priests, yes, killed Jesus Christ. Yes, they sentenced him to death. Yes, this is what it says in the Bible. So now, let me send you this information, because this information is totally shocking. Because many people don't seem to think for a few minutes. Yeah. Now, even in the New Testament, even with all its modifications, yeah, it turns out says that Jesus Christ was sent before basically the Parliament, the Pharisees, and he was sent before the Sanhedrin. This is where the high priest is, and this is where they've got the Pharisees. The Pharisees are the priests and the scribes and the people who are the writers. Yes. And then it says that the Sadducees are there, and they're the rich guys, all the families of the priests, etc., and everything, the businessmen. Yes? Yes, so Jesus Christ was sent before the ruling people of Jerusalem, or the ruling people of Constantinople. Yes? Have you got that?
So what do the Pharisees mean? Yeah, I'm seeing this. So it says the Pharisees were the forerunners of the rabbis.
Yeah, it's saying today, I could say, hey, it's the Democrats and the Republicans and the House of Congress, etc.
Okay, so the Sadducees they were a powerful group. Okay.
Yeah, it's the ruling governing body of Jerusalem, of Istanbul. So now it's basically these people, the priests and the ruling families.
Gotcha.
And the people in power.
Because to be a priest, your father would have to have been a priest, and to be a high Sadducee, your father would have to be a high Sadducee.
Yes, it's the people in power in Constantinople.
Okay.
So now you can see why the Crusades went to Constantinople. And it wasn't just the priests, it was the scribes, the people who were writing these religious books. They sentenced Jesus Christ to death, and they said, Jesus Christ must die. And then they announced, these priests, yeah, as I've sent you photographs, in Constantinople, it was the Orthodox Church, the priests, etc. They announced, we've killed Jesus Christ. Christ is dead. You no longer will need to follow the old law of Moses. You must follow the new law, the New Testament. Now we are going to build the new world order. This was the beginning of the new world order. Do you see what this is? Now my book explains this deeper. I'm giving basic information here. The full information's in my book called Jesus Christ, Skull and Bones, and the Last Crusade. Yes? Now some people will say, hey, I don't understand this information. It's not enough. Yeah, if you want to say these things and if you're going to say these comments, read everything before you comment. Okay? Yes. Now the thing is, what people don't know is, let's have a look at what they called Constantinople. They called Constantinople the Byzantine Empire. Yes.
Yeah. So what's up with that?
Yes. So now we've got a problem with this Byzantine Empire. Really? Okay. Now this is because nobody ever checks. Seems like they're going to say Istanbul is the second Jerusalem or the Eastern Jerusalem. Now let's look at, did the Byzantine Empire even exist? Now this is very shocking. Yes. Now have a look. Here, look at these historians. They can't make their mind up. 1 minute they called Istanbul the second Jerusalem. Now they're calling it the second Rome or the Eastern Rome.
Right.
I'm just saying, yes?
Yeah.
See, you see, they'll put these things to make people ridiculous and crazy. Then they'll say this city was called Byzantium.
I like this one you pulled up. It says the term Byzantine was invented by German historian Hieronymus Wolff in 1557. So that's pretty. That's pretty telling, because that means Mehmet was the Caesar at this time. So maybe it's kind of like a fake government, because they're like, we're ignoring the real Mehmet Caesar.
Yes. So now we've got now when people read this, they're not imagining it. Now, can you imagine this now? Who was this Hieronymus Wolff guy? He made up the name. Can you imagine now? I can change history books. In 1,000 years' time, I can turn around and say, it was called the United States of China. And Washington, D.C. was the capital of the United States of China. I could change the name. So he created a new name called Byzantine. Yes? And nobody used that word until 200 years ago.
Yeah, then it says it's not even popularized until the 18th century by French scholars. So,
yes.
Yeah, whatever.
And why did they do that? Yeah, why did they do that? Yes? Now, this is the strange thing. Now the thing is, yes, let's have a look at this carefully. Yes? The Renaissance mysteriously started at the same time that the Caesar called Sultan Mehmet or Mohammed, yes, or the Last Crusade, took over Istanbul and they got rid of the church. Yes, and at that time, mysteriously about 100 Greek manuscripts of the Bible. Yes, the Crusaders were burning these Greek manuscripts. Yes. They're burning the churches. Yes. It's because the church said Christ is dead. If they believed the official story, then they won't burn these Gospels. They were burning these Gospels because they didn't believe it. Same like the protesters, are burning September the 11th official story. We don't believe it. Same like the protesters were burning masks. They didn't believe coronavirus existed. There were so many protests. You could find all the videos on YouTube. People refusing to wear masks because they refused to believe the official story. So the truth is, for centuries, people had crusades because they came back to fight the church because they didn't believe. And the crusades mysteriously ended. When did they end? When this Caesar Mohammed, invaded with the Russians and the Germans and all these other people. They turned around and said, because they've changed the history and said he kidnapped children from the Balkans, from Germanic and Russians and Slavs, and he forced them into his army. Yes? But the truth is, it was actually the people fighting against the church. Now, the worst thing is they're turning around and saying it's called Byzantium, but actually it wasn't called Byzantium. This empire was actually called the Roman Empire. Can you imagine if I changed the name of, if I turn around and say the name of America was called China and I changed names? I can't do that. They've just changed the names. Now, the strange thing is people can check this themselves. Now, the people in power, now this is why I sent you a photograph of the Vatican before. Now, the people who were the priests of the churches, who claimed that they just killed Jesus Christ, and they wrote these gospels, the Crusaders were killing them. And they were burning all these churches. Now, when Constantinople was taken by the Caesar Mohammed, do you know what happened? Those people ran away with their gospels and they ran to Italy. Yes, and they ran to Rome around the 14th, 15th century.
Refugees, okay.
This is why they set up the Vatican. The history of the Orthodox Church is alive.
So it's the Turkish Taiwan. What is this then? So the Vatican is an escape from the power of...
From Constantinople, yes.
Wow.
And they're pretending that we're Catholic and they were Orthodox.
And that they're the most important... And everywhere else isn't as important as them, that they're the only ones who have the say on things. That makes a lot more sense. They're upset.
Yes. So now they're upset. So what are they going to do? They're going to make plans for a new world order. Yes.
Holy shit. Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it. How about some more?
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
The first thing I can only tell you is I believe even Vienna was a star fort before they reconstructed it.
What is that? What is the star fort? What is it?
I mean, the visible part is the walled part that you can see, but what the purpose is unclear.
Okay, so it's going to be unclear in speculation. Now, the thing is, the Quran mentions previous advanced civilizations, not one, but many. But many. And the thing is, the Quran is a clear book. It's not like we're looking at the Buddhist books that contradict each other or the Hindu Vedas, many versions. And the thing is, it's suspicious where those books came from. So now let's have a look at inside Al Jadid Star Fort. People can have a look at this online. This is what we've got. When you go down underground, have a look what we've got. Arches similar to churches. Yes. Then we've got these pillars that are holding everything up. Yes, can you see them? And remember last time I told you what's in Istanbul? Yes, and underneath Istanbul. Do you remember?
Underneath Istanbul,
underneath
the
Hagia Sophia, especially. Yes.
Yeah, these water basins, oftentimes, right?
Yes. So the thing is, it's the same thing here. The water. And now anybody who lives in El Jadida, because these systems are still there, unlike in Europe where it's developed and they changed everything. The cities changed, the landscapes changed. Here we're still looking. They're in the third world. They're 100 years behind. So 100 years ago, it's like coming back to Vienna, 100 or 150 years ago, and damn, you can still go inside and you'll find this place. So then you'll think, I'm beginning to realize what the Star Fort may have been. So now we've got a water supply here. And then the Quran tells you that Solomon built these reservoirs. It's basically an underground reservoir. Yes. And then the thing is, the Muslims turn around and say there's the stars of Solomon, many different pointed stars. And there's many strange diagrams that the Muslims have got, that the Vatican destroyed many of these documents. Yes. Here's Julius Caesar. yes, and his woman, the Cleopatra, yes, who comes from the south, yes, and this story, which is a famous love story, yes, and if many people examine this story, yes, they will notice that this story is similar to which story? What story do you think it's similar to?
First thing that comes to mind is Romeo and Juliet, but I have no idea.
Well, because we're talking about star forts, and because I mentioned Solomon, and the Quran mentioned Solomon building waterways and reservoirs, yes, as you said, Caesar, they're trying to say now this German Kaiser Caesar, he built the
Yes.
waterways, but the Quran says it was Solomon. Yes, so now the thing is, if you have a look, the Julius Caesar is with that Cleopatra, where it's actually the true story is Solomon and Sheba. Yes, you see, yes. So and the thing is, you know, if somebody has a look at these two stories, they were invented. Yeah, I mean, the Caesar one was copied, and the name Khazar or Cesar or Uzar actually came from the name Uzair, the son of God, because Caesar was the son of God. Yes, this is where the title continued from. But anyway, the thing is, when you look at all these buildings, yes, that look like churches, yes, many of them have got a water system underneath and a type of reservoir. Now, Istanbul is a crazy city. I think there's about 100 of these places underground, 100. So if somebody's going to talk about Star Fort and say, wow, underneath here, we're talking about there's about 100 of them in Istanbul.
Yeah, well,
This
there's
is genuinely
probably
brilliant.
hundreds in Vienna too. It's like the city is officially littered with churches, so-called churches. So
Yes, yeah, maybe too in Vienna, and they've hid it. So now the thing is, we've got all this is a serious problem. So now the thing is, last time I spoke to you and I showed you the fraud in the Hagia Sophia. Yes. So now let me send you a picture of Hagia Sophia again, and then this will make you realize something. I showed you the fraud where you know, there's that Mustafa Kemal leader. Yes, and you know, the Americans and the British and everything, they occupied Istanbul. Yes, and the thing is, you know, the thing is, they're trying to show the existence of the Greek Orthodox Church and you know, the modern Greek Orthodox Church, which Fomenko shows is just a total invention in the last 200 years. Well, if you have a look at the inside of Hagia Sophia, let me send you a photograph of the inside. Then you'll soon realize something and inside. But now the thing is, this is not the question. Now this place has become a major flashpoint. It's become a major flashpoint because, as I said in the last video, the thing is, the Muslims want to preserve this building. Yes, but the thing is, you know, especially these global leaders who are going to this building now. The global leaders, nobody's questioning why they're going, but we've got you know,
to the Wailing
leaders
Wall
from
also,
all.
you mean?
Yeah, no, this building is the Wailing Wall. It's at the
mhm.
bottom of that building is the Wailing Wall, and the Muslims have refused. Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Trumpsky, premiers of China, Putin, and the rest of them. The Muslims have refused them to come anywhere near this place because these people want to build a building there for the Markaba, and what they do is they're summoning many of their organizations who practice the Cabala are summoning the demons and the devil and saying, "Oh, Satan, please help us. Oh, Satan, please speed up bringing the Messiah." They're asking Satan. Why can't they ask God? Oh no, God's not good enough. Sorry.
It's really strange.
God's on holiday this week, by the way. God's on holiday, or God's not powerful enough. God is not enough. You know, maybe Satan's more powerful. So they're asking Satan. Yes, you know. So the thing is, somebody's going to say, "Am I making this up?" You know, I sent you this information before. Yes. So the thing is, even I can't believe it that they're turning around and they're summoning the devil. Yes, they're actually summoning the devil, calling the devil. And the thing is, now this is what they're alleging from the Old Testament. I don't believe in these nation-state borders. And somebody will say, "Is he a globalist?" I'm a Tartarian globalist. Then nobody can accuse me of being with the New World Order, because there's crazy people out there who are going to come out with things. So now the thing is, there's so many coins all over the world, you know, thousands, millions, God knows how many, with Arabic writing with the stars of David. So the history of the story of David is just a scam.
And then
You know,
just before we conclude, because I'm sure everybody would ask this, in your understanding, then what would be the Ark of the Covenant, or the books, or the box of God? What would they be carrying?
Now, according to the Bible, the box in the Temple of Jerusalem is a perfect cube. Now, the thing is, anybody who studies mathematics and checks through the history of graduation and everything else, because they can't change everything. And the thing, yes, everybody will notice that a cube is not enough. That's why when you graduate, there's the 6-pointed hat, then the 8-pointed hat for the 32 stars, for the 33rd degree. Yeah, because including Polaris, there's 33. Yes, this is the greatest science, that humans, the greatest achievement. The Quran says, don't worship this. This is not God. God created this system. Yes. Now, the opposition to the Quran, yes, the opposition is they're saying we can become like God. Yes. And then they're saying the Messiah will have the attributes of the cube or the Metatron cube. Islam says, no, God is beyond this. Now, this is a matter of opinion.
And maybe
yes.
just to point
I've not met God.
Right.
Huh?
Just to point this out in a most basic sense, where we could make a classification, would be the one worldview, maybe the New World Order worldview in a sense, which believes and wants to make everyone believe that life, experience, existence is limited to the material plane, or to whatever construct.
Yes, to the 33rd degree.
And
you can't go beyond this.
And old Islam, or however we would want to call it, or also many other streams within spiritual systems, would clearly state that there are realms, and there is a force that is well beyond what we can perceive here, and that there is an order. And why I'm pointing this out is because if that would be to be assumed, because it's always about why would someone want to live forever? For me, it only makes sense if they are scared that their existence in its totality could be deleted. But if there is if there is some kind of, no matter how, continuation, a greater order that we cannot fully understand from where we are right now.
Yes, the Quran has an answer to this. And shall I tell you?
Please.
Even I don't know how to challenge it. The Quran says, how can you say that this greater force or this God doesn't exist when you didn't exist in the first place? Where did you come from? Wake up.
Right. Yes. Right. Yes, it's simple.
He says, how can you deny God when you didn't even exist? The thing is, many people, they've told us that Aramaic and ancient Romans is something else. But the more you look into it, you will soon realize Aramaic is the language of Rome. And Rome was founded by Abraham's two sons, Isaac and Ishmael, not the fantasy story they invented in the 16th century called Romulus and Remus. In the 16th, 17th century, they said it came from Romulus and Remus. And how do we know they said it? It's because Andreas, somebody turned around and said, hey, I've just found this these books that were 1,000 years old.
But they're beautifully written, and I just translated them. Buy them now. Right,
oh yeah, right. And then when Andreas says, David, where is the original to this 1,000 years old book? Oh, sorry, I've lost it now. I translated it into modern Latin and I've lost it. Sorry.
David, why aren't you doing? We could be the new Joseph Smiths. I'm just saying. I mean, anytime we could.
Yeah,
this is not
you
a
could
bad.
make a lot of money out of this.
This is not a bad scheme you found. I don't know, but okay, let's keep digging.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Yes, if I was out to make money, if I was out to make money, it's because my family are business people. Or if I was out to preach, make money or something, then believe me, I would be one of the worst scammers ever.
Yeah,
I would know
exactly
how
they're doing it.
Because lies. Do you know what? Lies actually makes money.
Yeah, well, dividing people with information. So, like, you've shown some information
all
here.
These
even
religious
Arab.
groups, these religious saints and preachers.
But if Arab and Europe Arab, if these are the same word that people are arguing over from languages that didn't have vowels, or something to that effect, another that's a big deal, because these people the whole world is divided. They're the same people.
Yeah. But anyway, now what's even bigger problem is, how the hell did these people, whoever built the Kaaba, already know the compass points and everything else? This is strange. So now we've got a building in the middle of the deserts, and where hardly anybody lived a few centuries ago. Yeah. And they've just built a building there, and they've made sure that everybody from the world could navigate to get there. What the hell is going on? This is something serious.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
So it would seem to me, so if you look at that, Jerusalem, when you split that up, there appears to be no promised land, no kingdom of heaven. You do have, however, Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa. So it seems like it's more like Jerul-Akhirah. Yeah, they say Jerusalem, but it seems like it's more like Jerul-Akhirah to me, because that is what you do find in the Quran. You find Dar-us-Salam and you find Darul-Akhirah. So Ad-Darul-Akhirah, the home of the hereafter. So as I mentioned, there seems to be all of this obsession with the promised land and the kingdom of heaven. There seems to be none of this in the Quran about somewhere on this earth. All of this is in reference to the hereafter. That's the point I'm making here. That's the main point. The questioning of Jerusalem, or what they claim is Jerusalem, technically, yeah, Holy Land, Promised Land. You know, there seems to be none of this in the Quran. What there is, when you see all of these terms in the Quran, is the home of the hereafter. Everything the hereafter, nothing on this earth. But again, not denying anything about Aqsa or anything else that is in the Quran. I'm just pointing out about Jerusalem. Do not mistake me for anything else. Yeah, just the concept of Jerusalem that has been sold to us by them. Not talking about Palestine, not talking about Masjid al-Aqsa, none of that. Just about Jerusalem. Okay, so moving on, and this should become more clearer as we look at these verses now. The waswasa, the whispers of shaitan from the very beginning of time till now. فوسوس إليه الشيطان قال يا آدم هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. Then Satan whispered to him. He said, "O Adam, shall I direct you to the tree of eternity and a kingdom that will not deteriorate?" So this has always been the allure or the false promise, the whispers from shaitan.